Something major is about to happen right now. Right now, in a few minutes, something major is going to happen. So, let me finish eating my spaghetti, or as my wife says, albóndigas con pasta. Spaghetti. I'm going to finish eating that, and I'll show you and tell you what we're about to do that's major.
So I'm in the 911 and I'm about to do a road trip. Well, I guess technically it's not a road trip because it's one way. We're not doing a round trip. We're going to drive all the way to Boise, Idaho. Well, I don't know why I'm yelling because I got a microphone on. Sorry about that. I'm driving to Boise, Idaho right now. Now, for whatever reason, traffic is horrible right now. So it's normal afternoon rush hour traffic, but it seems to have started a little bit worse today. We're going to go through the city because it's going to be the last time I get to drive this car through this city, because after today, it's not coming back to Portland. I don't think. I love it. I love it. I'm a child. I know. For whatever reason, traffic must be so really bad because all the GPS apps tell me to go through downtown to get to the eastern part of Portland to continue east towards Boise. So normally it does not tell you to do that. It lets you just sit in traffic. And if it's telling you to go through downtown, traffic must be really, really, really bad. Cue the music. If you guys watched my last two videos, the part 1 and part 2, if I spent $3,000 on my car, part 1, part 2, I actually didn't think about the tires. If I had the tires in there, it was actually more like $4,000. So I bought new tires, had to get them rebalanced, but that was free, the rebalance, after I got them installed. New tires, balancing alignment, the DSC Sport controller, which I sold in the past, so I had to rebuy because I'm an idiot. What else did we do? We did the serpentine belt, we did the carbon shaft, and the carbon shaft was pricey. That one was about $1,000. But I can tell you, honestly, no more grunting whatsoever. Like, the car does not grunt at all. Like, when I'm stopped, before it would do it, it wouldn't do it at all, almost never when it was cold, but as soon as it heated up and things expanded, it would do it a little bit. So now, it doesn't do it at all. It doesn't matter, hot, cold, whatever. It drives tighter when it's cold, and which makes sense. It's a 15-year-old car, but it's good. Like right now, it's hot outside. I'm in stop and go, bumper to bumper traffic, and I let off the brake and just barely touch the gas. Zero grunt whatsoever. Where before, I guarantee you, it would give me this little, just like as it started rolling forward. So there's no grunt whatsoever. So changing the cardan shaft, though expensive, I think was worth it. And I got no vibrations or nothing. The thing is perfectly balanced. So I'm happy I changed it. I'm not crazy about how much I spent on it, but I'm happy I changed it. What was the other thing we changed? Serpentine belt. Oh, the oil pan gasket. Now the oil pan gasket, it really wasn't a leak. It was just dirty and damp. I probably could have just cleaned it, drained the oil some more, got it to a lower level, and it probably would have been fine. But I didn't want to take that risk, especially because I've got this road trip today that's going to be 600-700 miles, and I don't want to bust an oil pan gasket and then your oil just pisses out all over the ground. That would suck. Matter of fact, I have spare oil right behind me on the seat. I have it behind the seat because I have it pinched in there so it sits vertical so it doesn't fall over and leak oil. So that's where I have spare oil right now. But the car is 100%. I did spark plugs not even 10,000 miles ago. I did coil packs at the same time. We've changed the mass airflow sensor. We've changed air filters. So the car should be, in theory, 100% good to go for this road trip. And I've driven the car to LA and back more than once without doing any of that. And the car was just fine. So fingers crossed we have a good little road trip and we make it to Boise. Because once I'm in Boise, my options to fix things is going to be limited. The way I'm going to be able to fix them is there is a DIY garage in Boise. I have not gone to it and checked that out in person, but I do know one exists. The other option is to find an independent shop, which is probably what I will do. Find an independent shop that can do some work, or take it to the dealer. And I've talked to the dealer on the phone a few times in Boise just to kind of get a feel for how much they charge and all that. They actually seem pretty decent. An alignment by an independent shop here in Portland is about $299. There's some other chain shops that'll do it for less, but a good quality shop that knows your car will do it for about $299. Porsche in Portland charges $499. I don't know what is special about the extra $200, but it's $499. So when I was in Boise the last time, I called the Porsche dealer there and I said, how much would be an alignment? They said $299. I was like, really? And then I asked for prices on tires. Pretty much things I've already done to this car, how much are their prices? And their prices were pretty close to what I pay plus their labor, which the labor in Boise is cheaper than the labor in Portland. So it may not be a bad thing to get the car fixed and serviced in Boise at the dealership. We will see. That's to be determined. But that independent shop, the dealer, a DIY garage if I can find one, or working on my car in a parking lot like I used to do in my 20s. I've done it before and I can do it again. It's not the ideal situation, but I've rebuilt the damn engine in the parking lot of an apartment complex. So I know it's doable. It's not what I want to do though. This traffic is barely moving. I'm just past the center of downtown. I crossed the river and I'm on the east side now, and I barely we're going 40 miles an hour. Normally right now you're doing 70 plus. Oil temperature is perfect. Coolant temperature is perfect. Oil pressure is great. So we're good to go. I have about 6.5 hours of driving to do. Another thing we have to deal with is a fire. There's a fire right next to the freeway just past Mount Hood, where basically everything that you see around me that's green because of rain, because it rains a lot in this part, it's just on the other side of that Cascades where everything's brown and dry because that's the desert. The rain drops all its moisture here on this side of the Cascades, and then the other side of the Cascades is just very arid. So there's already a wildfire, and wildfire season started early this year. There's already wildfire over there. It's right next to the freeway. All the GPS apps are telling me it could affect my route on the way there. Hopefully not. Once we get past the fire, it should be pretty fast speed cruising. In Idaho, speed limits are 80. Unfortunately, in Oregon, they are not. In Oregon and Washington, there's 65 in most places. There's a few places that's 70, but not too many. So we won't be doing much speeding today.
My queen and a baby girl. It was all a dream, now it seems like I had a world. I'm not really seen on the scene, but I like it like that. Only if for green, then I leave with a bag full of cash. Long nights, longer roads, I just go with the flow. Head up when I'm low, yeah, you know how it goes. Got the hustle in my veins, every battle I'm drawn. Turn my struggles into strengths, always answer those calls. All gas, no brakes, all work, no play.
Good. The wind is howling. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It is pushing me around. But I just got passed by a really nice Audi A7. So let's play.
Nothing less. Started at the bottom, had some problems, still had no regrets. sitting at the top, you didn't notice yet.
So I just had the craziest experience. When I was going just like 10 over behind that Audi, I heard this crazy noise. I didn't know what it was. It was just insane. So when I was doing 10 over, it was really loud. As soon as I slowed down to 5 over, it went away right away. Just to be safe, I pulled over and I looked around the car. I checked the spoiler on the back. The spoiler is glued tight like it's supposed to be. I looked in the wheels. I looked everywhere. And there's nothing that I could see that would have made that sound. And the only time I heard the sound was when I was just doing a little bit, about 10 over. And then I slowed down to about 5 to 8 over, and the sound went away. So it had to be an aerodynamic sound of wind going over something or through something. It's something I'm not going to test again right now. I have 400 more miles to go. So I still have a pretty good ways to go before I get to Boise. So we'll test that theory after we're in Boise. Once we're there and we're local with the car, and just in case something happens, if something's going to happen there, well, that's okay because I'm local and I can get the car fixed. I don't want to do it in the middle of a road trip. So we'll test that theory in the future. But that was the craziest sound. I didn't record it because I was paying attention to the road. I will record it when I do test it, but it won't be today. So as I'm sitting here reflecting on road tripping. So road tripping comes in different stages. Anyone who's done road trips in long distance road trips in cars know what I'm talking about. There's a couple different stages. First is excitement. You're all excited, you're amped up, you're ready to go. You probably didn't sleep well the night before because you're so excited to go. So then you get in the car, not having slept well, you get coffee or energy drink or whatever you get, and you hit the road. Then after a few hours, the excitement wears off, and you still have I'm using Porsche's GPS so I can use the phone to record. Porsche's GPS says I have 548 kilometers to go. So give or take 400 miles. And then the boredom kind of sets in. After the boredom, so you have your excitement, your boredom. After your boredom, then you start getting a little tired, you get a little hungry, and you get a little hangry, and then you're not yourself when you're hangry. And then you get to exhaustion. Exhaustion, you're just like, man, if I can make it another hour, I can get to this next city, I can get to this hotel, etc. Then after exhaustion, you get a second wind, and you're like, bam, I'm good. I can keep going. That's when you need to use your brain and say, no, I'm done. Now, I've done this trip more than once, so I know I can make it there. No problem. But let's say you get to exhaustion, you get your second wind, you get there, or you get somewhere you want to go, and you're good. And then you crash, and then you get to the hotel or wherever you're going to stay, and you crash. Then you do sleep good that first night because you're so exhausted and you didn't sleep well the night before. So then you sleep well, and then you wake up, and then you got to do it all over again the second day. And then the third, and the same thing. And each time you get a second wind, third wind. And when you finally get to your destination, if it's more than one day, you get to that spot where it's, you start getting excited again because you're almost there. You're like, yes, I've made it. You're so excited. But trust me, by the time you get to your destination, you're just like, oh yes, I'm so excited. And then you get there and you're relieved and you feel like you won an Olympic gold medal. All you did was drive. I think about that's how I feel every day. Every time I get to my destination, I'm like, yes, I'm finally there. I got the Porsche there. I survived. I didn't die, but all I did was drive the car. Those are the stages of road tripping. Why do I laugh at this? Why did I even think about this? Because when I just talked to you guys a few minutes ago and I was talking about that noise, as I was sitting here getting ready to record this and set my phone up on the mount, I looked at my mount, and the mount was just like completely over the place. I think the noise I heard was the mount. I think the mount was vibrating and shaking because of the speed I was going when I was going 10 over. I think the mount is what was making the noise. I don't think there was nothing on the car that made that noise. I've driven this car a lot more than 10 over, and it is fine. It's super stable. It's rock solid. We do have a long way to go today, so we don't want to take any chances. We just want to get there safely. So we're going to get there safely. After we're at our destination, then we can do some tests and some theories and all that. One thing I did test, I did say I could get up to speed, highway speeds. Case in point, the mount just fell off. So there's my proof. What I was saying was, I'm driving the highway speeds, normal speed, just keeping up with regular highway traffic, and I pressed the stow button on the spoiler. It will not go down. I have no malfunctions whatsoever on my dash. If I slow down to below 30, it will go down on its own. And if I'm stopped, I can deploy it and retract it using the button. But I guess there must be some kind of software built in where at highway speeds, when you press it to go back down, it won't go back down. There is something in the manual I read a long time ago, and I don't remember what page it's on, so don't ask me. They did say that the spoiler deploys to give you downforce, and that it is active, and as a safety measure, you're not supposed to disable it. I don't remember where I read that, but I do remember reading that, and that might be the case. It might be.
First stop, Loves. Usually I can make this in one stop. Sometimes I'll do it in 2 or 3 just to break up. We got water, because you need to stay hydrated. Celsius. I like the kiwi guava, but they didn't have guava, so I'll take this. Marble cake.
We are a few hours in. Almost time to take my sunglasses off. And right now I am chilling. Why am I chilling? Because of what's in front of me. An all blacked out, actually very impressive looking, a completely blacked out police, I guess it's state police, SUV, blacked out windows, blacked out everything, and it looks freaking awesome, looks amazing, but he's also pacing, and occasionally turns the radar on, and turns it on different bands, just to let me know he's there. So we are chilling, not going fast. There's another more important reason why we're not going fast right now. That right there. That's about the size of a quarter. So I was driving about this speed, maybe a little bit more, not a lot more. Honestly, just barely cruising at highway speeds. I was not flying. I was cruising at this speed when there was a truck in front of me pulling a trailer, a pickup truck, pulling a trailer with another truck on it, and something flew out of it. I wasn't right behind them. I was close enough that I could see what kind of truck he was pulling, but not read his license plate. And something flew off the truck and smashed my windshield. Yeah. I followed the truck. I called the police because the truck, as soon as that happened, they sped off. They got on it. They were going so fast. I didn't keep up with them because if I did, I would have gone to jail trying to, going that fast. But they were pulling a trailer way over the speed limit. And so I called the police to describe the truck, say, hey, look, this is what happened. I think they threw something out the window or something flew out of their truck. I'm not sure. And it smashed my windshield. So the police asked me where I was. And so and they got off on that exit, so a couple things were a little suspicious. One, they sped off as soon as it happened. 2, they got off on the very next exit. And I don't think they expected me to follow them. So I followed them until they finally stopped. And when it stopped, there was a kid. So do I think he did it on purpose? No, I don't. I think it was just a kid. He was driving his truck because I asked him for the insurance. He said, well, it's my dad's truck. And he refused to give me the insurance. That's why I called the police again. I said, this is where I am. Can you do anything about it? Unfortunately for me, the police could do nothing. So I called my insurance company and I gave them a case number, and I guess my insurance is going to buy me a new windshield, which sucks because it's not my fault. In any case, it's not the end of the world. The windshield's not spidered. I don't think it's repairable, but Safelite says if it's less than 6 inches and it's not spidering, that they can repair it. So we'll see. Safelite will look at it this week, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, and they'll tell me whether they can fix it or not. Honestly, I kind of wouldn't mind having a new windshield because this one is old and it's got like that dust in the windscreen because of just from being 15, 20 years old, and I wouldn't mind that, but I know sometimes when that happens, they also don't get it to seal right, and then you get moisture in there, and etc. And we don't want that. So we'll see what happens with the windshield. I have another 3 hours to go. I'm going to try to record some content of these curvy mountain passes that I'm having fun in. My friendly state police officer is still right in front of me, so I got to just take it easy. On a completely separate topic, tires. So everyone loves the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's, and I think it is a good tire. It's definitely more comfortable. It is quieter, not a ton, but it is noticeably quieter than the Pilot Sport All Seasons. However, I like the All Seasons better. I have more confidence in the All Seasons. It was confidence inspiring. They had really tremendous amounts of grip. It was good for a long time. They lasted easily almost 40,000 miles. These 4S's, I can tell they're soft. When I really start pushing it and cooking it, I can tell they're soft. They have good grip. Believe me, they have good grip. And it does make the car a little lively and fun. But I think I prefer the all-season tire to this. I know you guys are going to say I'm crazy, but that's the reality. So we'll make one more stop. We'll stop at the Loves right on the border of Oregon and Idaho. We'll stop there, take a little pee break, get rid of some of our trash. I'll show you how the brakes are. I'll show you how the car is doing. At the first stop, I didn't show you guys that the brakes look pretty good. Yeah, there's some brake dust on there, but actually they look really good. And I'll show you this crack in the windshield. I'm trying not to mess with it. I haven't even turned on my wipers. I don't want to turn on wipers. I don't want to turn on anything that could make it worse. So luckily it's not winter time, so I don't have to worry about ice getting in there, because ice will definitely make it grow. I have a little over 2 hours left to get there, so I'll stop probably in an hour or an hour and change from now, and then we'll just drive all the way in.
I love loves. How ironic. So, not too bad. Not too many bugs. Front brakes. This is why I like the hog pads. Yes, there's brake dust, but it's not terrible. And let's look at the other side. I think the left front's a little worse. No, not really. So it's not doing too bad. Windshield. Look at this crap. So, for reference, here's my thumb. Yeah, it's pretty big. Not my thumb, right? So what I did to drive this way is I lowered my seat so that it's not in my field of view. So that crack in the windshield is just about right here, so I don't see it. And then that way I can keep driving. Otherwise, it sucks. I tried moving the seat higher. Worse. Way worse. What's that? So I don't really need gas. Got more than half a tank. But when you're road tripping, you always want your car, you always want to fill up as much as possible. So, a lot of people will give you crap and say, this and a Corvette, Porsches and Corvettes are not supercars. That's right, they're not supercars. Guess what else they're not? They're not gas guzzlers. You can get like 26, 28 miles to the gallon. They can go 4, 5 hours, 6 hours without getting gas. Try doing that in a Lamborghini. Gallon's $25. I'll take that all day long. Porsche. Little protein pack and a little Love's coffee, because I loves coffee. I know, stupid dad jokes, I know. I always stop at Love's because they always have not good food. They always have a good selection of food. They have decent drinks. They always have clean bathrooms, and they have a lot of pubs. So anytime I'm traveling across the country, I almost always try to find a Love's. The windshield thing kind of pisses me off, but at the same time, you know what? I was due. I was due for this to happen. I haven't had a windshield crack like this since 2010 when we bought our Passat brand new. Same thing. 1 year of having it, rock flew over and cracked it and spidered the windshield. Actually, now that I've cleaned it and I've taken off some of the dust, this might be repairable as long as it doesn't continue to grow. It's a little skeptical to clean it, but I cleaned it. It is growing though. You see that? It is starting to grow. So as long as it doesn't get too big, it may be repairable. We still have like an hour and a half to go. And I was hoping to get there before sunset, but apparently not. And normally that's not a problem, but it's now almost summer. So sunset is like 9, 10 p.m. It's late at night. So that means we're going to get there late at night. So let me get back on the road.
Yeah. See the potential, instant, influential, maybe controversial, maybe in another life it's mental, maybe in this one sentimental, no, not accidental, whoa, but you come back tenfold, go, like dripping in gold beep, 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 oh. Gold bar standards, that's the best thing, hold your standards, that's the best thing. Gold bar standards, that's the best thing. Hold your standards, that's the best thing. When we step through, that's gold. Anything we touch, it turns gold. Far too much, don't worry about nothing. Far too much, better let that go. Yeah, when we step through, touch road. Anything we touch, it turns gold. Far too much, the MC life, but far too much, better let that go. Gold bar standards, that's the best thing. Hold your standards, that's the best thing. Bar standards, that's the best thing. Hold your standards, that's the best thing. Okay, listen now. Shiny, expensive, list goes on extensive. That energy is dead, it's defensive. Them little weak flows, nah, not effective. Gold plated, it's protected, manifested, well respected. Eyes like jewels, how can we test it? Nah, we didn't do it like the rest did, nah. Gold bar standards, that's the best thing. Hold your standards, that's the best thing. Gold bar standards, that's the best thing. Hold your standards, that's the best thing.
A quick one. Don't even need gas. I need to stop and pee and clean the windshield, because since the sun went down, the bugs have come out. We've gotten more bugs in the last hour than I had the entire first 5 hours. So I gotta clean this off, and then we'll be in Boise in about 45 minutes. My crack doing? Not too bad. It's not getting worse. Well, it's growing a little bit, but not too bad. I'm gonna steal a phrase from my friend, Auto Amateur. When things like this happen, man, that really itches my crack.
See the potential, instant, influential.
footage. We made it to Boise, safe and sound. We're finally here. The car's here. It's gonna stay here. The only thing we need to get fixed, which I couldn't fix because it didn't happen until the drive here, was the damn windshield, which looks like that. I've actually cleaned the car twice to get the bugs off, and since I've cleaned the car, that actually looks repairable. It doesn't look like I need to replace the windshield, so I'm going to cancel my windshield replacement appointment and see if I can just get it repaired. If I can't get it repaired, we're going to get it replaced at Porsche. I already got the code for it. It's not cheap, but it's totally worth the Porsche to do it because they're going to do it right. But we're going to try to get it fixed first with SafeLight. I got to beat feet to work because just like last month, this month is starting to turn, well, we're already halfway through the month, so it's not starting. This month is a little bit chaotic, not as bad as last month, but I need to hurry up and get there because we need to fly the airplane somewhere else. So I need to take care of that, and we're supposed to take off in 45 minutes.
Yeah. See the potential, instant, influential, maybe controversial, maybe in another life it's mental.